code. Like who or what is Sergeant Pepper? Sergeant Pepper is depicted in the album's interior art, and we know from the cutouts that the mustache is a disguise. And without the hat and mustache, the photo illustration of Sergeant Pepper bears a striking resemblance to the photo of this man, pictured with this alleged band on the cover of an LP credited to something or someone called Billy Pepper and the Pepperpots. 2 Pepperpots LPs and 1 single were released in 1964 and 1965. But today, no one will own up to being a part of the alleged Pepperpots. So who were they? Each side of each LP opens with a cover of a Lennon-McCartney tune and proceeds to introduce several more songs in the Liverpool Mercy Beat style, mostly credited to one Bill Shepherd as composer. Bill Shepherd seems to be as much a phantom non-entity as Billy Pepper. The covers of the US and UK LPs were adorned with allusions to the Beatles, with mop-top graphics, and even photographs taken from a Beatles concert of screaming female teenage fans. Now back to that picture of the band. Look to the right. That man looks a lot like Mal Evans, the Beatles roadie, James Paul McCartney's constant companion through the last years of his life. Paul's Man Friday, helping the unmarried Beatle keep track of all the ideas he came up with as he weaved through swinging London's avant-garde artistic scene. Although it has long been reported that the so-called Paul McCartney and Mal Evans came up with the concept of Sgt. Pepper's during this trip to Africa in fall of 1966, it is now widely understood that it was in fact the roadie Mal Evans who wrote the song Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and who named the album. Were the Pepperpots another side project of Paul, Mal, and the Beatles' In Circle, an inside gag perpetrated for obscure reasons? After all, in India, the word beetle is a kind of pepper. But the answer lies not in the mystery of Billy Pepper, but rather the other Bill on the album, Bill Shepherd. For Billy Shepherd is also the pen name of the official biographer of the Beatles during the Beatlemania years and beyond. It is Billy Shepherd who gets the bylines in the Beatle Book, the Beatles' official monthly fan club magazine. And it is the mysterious non-entity Billy Shepherd who writes the Beatles' first official sanitized biography, published in 1964. But why was the name Billy Shepherd picked, and who inside the Beatles picked it? The answer lies in another Shepherd William. This emblematic picture, dedicated to the most judicious and learned Sir Francis Bacon Knight, is found in the 1612 book Minerva Britannia. The illustration depicts a shepherd swain, that is, a shepherd who is also a swineherd, who is piercing a viper with his spear. The shepherd is associated with Apollo, the god of poetic inspiration and illumination. The courtier poet was represented in Elizabethan England as a shepherd knight, the symbolism stemming from that of Apollo. Francis Bacon was known to his contemporaries, including King James, as Apollo. The viper and spear imagery is that of Apollo as a spear shaker, who shakes his spear of light at the serpent of ignorance. Hidden history will accord that it was in fact Sir Francis Bacon and his Order of the Knights of the Helmet who were the true author of the Shakespeare plays. This is recorded by the great Masonic philosopher Manly P. Hall, who, MIT researcher Ted Goranson reports, had corresponded with Paul McCartney. In fact, James Paul McCartney took a great interest in Shakespeare, and went so far as to push for a Shakespeare-themed television special. Called Around the Beatles, the setup was reminiscent of Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, with the Beatles appearing on a center stage surrounded entirely by an audience. The Beatles acted out a scene from Shakespeare, the play within a play, Pyramus and Thisbe, as portrayed by Bottom and his troupe of actors in A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was Paul who portrayed Bottom, the leader of the troupe of actors, and one of the great comic characters of the Shakespeare plays. Let's watch.
Perchance you wonder at the show, but wonder on till truth makes all things plain. This man is Pyramus, if you would know. This beauteous lady, this man presenteth woe, that vile wall which did those lovers sunder. And through wall's chink, poor souls, they were content to whisper. This man with lantern, dog, and bush of thorn presenteth moonshine. This grisly beastia, Lion is by name. For all the rest, let lion, moonshine, wall, and lovers twain at large discourse, while here they do remain. All the guys in that talking about. In the same interlude doth befall that I once not by name present a wall, and such a wall is as I would have you think, that had in it a granite hole or cheek, through which the lovers, Pyramus and Thisbe, did whisper often very secretly.
Going back to Liverpool. Oh, I fear my Thisbe's promise is forgot. I'm bad. Oh, wall, oh, sweet and lovely wall, that stands between our father's ground and mine. Oh, thou, oh, wall, oh, sweet and lovely wall. Show me thy chink to blink through with my eye. But what's the eye? No Thisbe do I see.